Hello and thanks for checking out TheChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Everyone checking in on cryptocurrency. So our daily time frames continue to tighten. It's still a favorable bullish environment in my opinion. And the reason for that is because we are certainly much closer to breaking resistance than we are to support. And more notably is that our last daily higher low that just formed still continues to hold these exponential moving averages. They're a guide for me. And if they're holding, the bulls have the upper hand. So our tight range to be watching at this point is 83.15 and 74.67. There's actually still a lot of space within that range right now. It's about, a solid 12% or so. And of course, if we were to break 83.15, we have to break 83.88 to get follow through. But what I'm looking for to happen is for this pattern to potentially continue tightening up through the weekend and looking for a break Sunday or Monday. That would be my ideal scenario, number one, because I'm distracted and at the beach and hanging out with friends. So I'd like for it to wait for a break for me. But I would also like it to see tighten up. And that's because if we were to break tonight, the 4-hour time frame is a bit extended. We did have a little bull flag and continuation, but we can see the RSI is up over 60. If we were to break 83.88 tonight, that 4-hour RSI would be over 70. And it's just a little bit extended. The tighter we get, the more of a cork off a bottle kind of scenario it is, where you shake up the cork and the tighter it gets, that's a more explosive reaction in my opinion. So I would love to see a loss of the hourly uptrend, which is still holding. The hourly exponential support is holding. Our hourly higher low is $8,010. If we lose the hourly uptrend, we zoom out to the 4-hour chart and we'll look for 4-hour consolidation. We'll watch for the potential of a backtest of exponential support, and we'll also be watching our last 4-hour higher low at 7,795. So best case scenario for me would be, and I'm bullish of course, but a pullback under resistance, another higher low formed, and a trade setup, if that is indeed the case, would be to base a stop off of 74.67, the must-hold daily higher low, and target the daily 12-period exponential moving average support. When this candlestick changes over tomorrow, this exponential support is going to be in the 7,700s. So looking for that support level to hold. If we do need another little pullback for another little daily higher low before a break does occur. And of course, you have to plan for the potential of a bear break because that can always happen. It's just a more favorable bullish scenario because we're in an uptrend on every single time frame except for the monthly chart. But I'm looking for another leg up. And the question is, after we break 83.88, where can the bulls head to? And the next clear resistance on the weekly time frame is 84.88. So it's right there, which is why we need to ensure that there is follow through. And then we would look up to 9,000 as the next level after that. So the question then is, of course, if we're in positions, we're protecting against the potential of a bear break. I currently am all cash aside from long-term no-touch positions. So those are my anti-FOMO. If I'm out hanging out with my friends at the beach and we get a bull break of cryptocurrency and I was not, ready or didn't have a trade set up that I liked, my anti-FOMO is knowing that I'm still making money on that bull break just in my longer term positions. So I'm going to be looking at, now we need to determine who's going to be the best coin to play on a breakout. And in general, if we see Bitcoin break out and get followed through with strength, we have to be watching for the potential that the altcoins are going to lag behind a little bit. The general pattern is we see Bitcoin pump, and then as Bitcoin trades sideways, then the altcoins act as a bit of laggards. Litecoin certainly has our attention today. We'll look at that in just a moment. But Ethereum is still tightening up as well. And what we have to make note of on names that are set up like Ethereum and pretty much all these other coins we're about to look at is they have a daily tightening range just like Bitcoin. They're holding exponential support, most of them. But the difference is we can break resistance of 264.77 on Ethereum, and we still have another $18 over 5% that we would have to go to break both levels. And the benefit for Bitcoin bulls is the distance to break both resistance levels at the same time is really easy. That's why the tight equilibriums are the best. The more space there is in between those equilibrium levels, then there's the potential that we break one resistance level and don't break the second. Whereas for Bitcoin, if we break 83.15, then we're very likely to break 83.88 because it's right behind it and it's not significant follow through acquired. Whereas for Ethereum, if we were to break one resistance level, we need to see another significant move to follow through and break both at the same time. So things are tightening up here as well. If the 4-hour time frame needs to consolidate, we're going to look for a higher low in the mid to lower 240s, and we're just going to look for things to tighten up into the weekend. ETH BTC, certainly something we've been keeping an eye on, and it's just really not doing a whole lot for the bulls. If we can't break 3277, that's going to keep Bitcoin favorable over Ethereum, in my opinion. But we certainly need to look at Litecoin Bitcoin pairing because of the move that we just saw. And there's that candlestick. So look at this, essentially a double bottom, 1105 and 11. I'm calling that a double bottom. And now the question is, can we break this resistance level of 1295 and change this trend? Looking at the long term here, we're pulling back significantly. Let's see what the monthly looks like. I always look at the longer term and zoom in from there, and expecting an equilibrium with our high, low, lower high, and the bulls are hoping a higher low is quickly forming. But first things first, we have to see a break of the lower highs on the daily time frame, and that's what the Litecoin bulls are going to hope to pull off. But Litecoin is also a bit extended. Let's look at that now. So the daily resistance level has already broken on Litecoin. 97.28 was key. So this break increases the odds that Bitcoin and other names are going to break bullish, in my opinion. That's how I always view it. Note the volume on Litecoin. That's how you know it's a real break. The volume was declining and we get that volume spike. So for Ethereum and Bitcoin and all other coins still in daily equilibriums, ensure that the volume spike occurs when the break occurs. That's how we get a prove it indicator proving that we're going to get some follow through. So 107.60 is the resistance. We got all the way up to 103.90, certainly getting close. And now this is the kind of scenario where the bulls just want a 4-hour healthy higher low. We're extended. We're not consolidating yet. Once we lose the hourly uptrend, we'll look for the 4-hour consolidation. And right now, the hourly higher low right off of exponential support is 98.69. So if we lose 98.69 into tonight, we need to zoom out to the 4-hour chart and we'll look for a higher low. And bulls can be looking for an entry on Litecoin on a 4-hour higher low. I would be comfortable looking for an entry at exponential support. And by the time we start pulling back, perhaps in the mid 90s, the mid to upper 90s, we will look for a 4-hour higher low to form if we were to consolidate from here. And that would be the potential scenario for bulls to try and get in before a break of 107.60 if this LTC BTC chart can break resistance. Of course, if this is just a lower high on this chart and then we start pulling back, then of course Bitcoin is going to remain stronger than Litecoin, and Bitcoin would be the name to play on the breakout. And there's nothing wrong with diversifying. Even if you're only looking to play this daily bull break, maybe choosing two names, half of your position in Bitcoin, half of it in Litecoin. That spreads some exposure around and can help ensure that you certainly tag some of the stronger name, whichever it ends up being. And that's that. Let's look at XRP. XRP is still tight. So this is another scenario where if the bulls break resistance of 4.3, we still have another 10% to go to get to the next resistance level. So bulls, you can see the volume is just non-existent. Things are getting really tight. I would call anything under 4.3 just a lower high. And if this were the only chart I were looking at, I would say that we are likely to stay within this pattern until probably Monday, Tuesday. But knowing that the other names may break first would increase the odds that XRP would break and follow along. But as far as the 4-hour time frame goes, you can see Ethereum as well. We're just not nearly as extended, and we haven't broken the 4-hour lower high pattern here. We're looking at the lower highs after or before the dump, and we haven't made it back to that range. And looking at Ethereum, it's very similar. We're just getting back to these levels, but certainly not as impressive as Litecoin and Bitcoin currently is. Binance, again, just an absolute stud in the sector, continuing to rip off bull flags time and time again. Our new higher low on the daily time frame is 29.67. This was a bullish reaction to Binance getting margin trading. We already knew that was coming by some interaction on social media between the CEO and someone, or Reddit. It was Reddit that, found the underlying clues that margin was coming, and then the CEO pretty much, confirmed it by not denying it. But what we're looking at here is the hourly uptrend, which is still intact. The bulls must hold 33.58 to remain their strongest. Lose 33.58, it would be a little bit of a head and shoulders on the hourly that would just have us looking for healthy 4-hour consolidation back to exponential support. Anything on the 4-hour above 31.12 is a higher low. So if you are riding the Bitcoin or the Binance bull move, congrats, number one. But number two, choose a time frame that you are basing your stop losses off of. If you want to be more protective and lock in profit, you're using that hourly level. If you want to continue letting these bulls run, maybe you're using the 4-hour time frame. And if you want to really let them have some space, you're using the daily uptrend. And anything above 29.67 keeps the bulls extremely comfortable. It is as strong of an uptrend as we have going right now in Blue Sky Breakout to top it off. So I appreciate you watching. I am going to probably only check in from the beach here if we get a break. Otherwise, if we remain in these tightening patterns, there's not going to be a whole bunch to update on, and we will patiently wait for that break to occur. So I hope you have a good holiday weekend in the US. Memorial Day is coming up. And if not, I hope you have a good regular weekend, and we will see you in the near-term future when a break does occur. Ending it here with a show from in town. This was actually from a couple years ago, but just a little wine bar that has some good world music. And that's all I got.